with paper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from our winter break. We got SRA Season 5, Week 6 at Barcelona, Spain, and it is very, very wet out here. Josh, Nate, glad to be back. How was everyone's 2 weeks off?
Oh man, I missed you guys. It was a good break. It was great to see family and travel up north despite the bomb cyclone and the blizzard that made travel somewhat difficult, but worthwhile in the end. And I'm excited to be here.
Well, I am glad you had a good winter break. Josh, how was yours?
Mine wasn't too bad. Had the pretty much the same things to dodge over here. We didn't escape much, even though there's a few kilometers between me and Nate. Winter storm just rained havoc over quite a lot of area, and I got stuck out in it the day before it was supposed to start. But
Oof.
Oh,
that's
no
okay.
kidding.
I was right
Yeah.
at the start of the break, got lots of time to recover, lots of time to celebrate, but I've been itching for racing for weeks.
Yeah,
I hear that.
and I have been ready to get back at it. I've had 2 weeks to practice Barcelona. I am super excited to race tomorrow night, but we're not talking about D3 today, guys. We are moving into D5 qualifying. As we get underway, our drivers are out on the first couple laps here. And if you are new to SRA, the way it works is at a 20-minute qualifying. 10 minutes goes out to our silver division, which is on your screen to the left with the silver driver tags next to their names. And our gold drivers will go out for the second 10 minutes with the white driver tags. And we are looking pretty wet out there right now. We have some decent times going out. It's still, like I said, a little wet. We got some 157s putting down on the board, a bunch of 158s. As the times just keep going up, T-Ma putting down the fastest lap so far in P1 with a 157.4.
Wasn't he doing that last race?
He may have been. Very well could have been, but he's going to be slowed down here as he's got somebody right in front of him. It looks like P2 holding him up there a little bit. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the rules of qualifying, there is no passing. So you got to leave your distance. Very, very important. And qualifying is super, super crucial this season. Dropping it down to only 10 minutes. So you only really get a couple laps in.
Yeah, it makes every lap, like you said, even more crucial. And at a track like this, Barcelona, especially in the wet, I think it's going to be a little bit of who can get the last lap in, kind of F1 style. Because even in this heavy rain that we are seeing here, that dry line forms up pretty fast. Takes about 5-6 minutes, I'd say, for a noticeable line. And as we're going to see, there's a bunch of high deltas coming towards the line here, and times are just going to keep coming down. But yeah, the last silver driver on track might just be the guy who lucks out with their pole position.
That is very, very, very true here. I just need to adjust something here.
Yeah, seen a lot of mid 157s. T-Ma, obviously, with the lowest 157 at a 0.4 of a second. 157 and 417. Rattler right behind him with the 157.6. And Condola just behind him with the 157.707. So
it does look like we have a gold driver out there too by mistake.
Yes it does.
Oh yeah, Rufus.
Yeah, Rufus is out there. I think he's new. I have not seen that name in here before.
We'll have we've got our team managers and division managers that are out and about within the server, and I'm sure that'll get dealt with relatively soon if it's not called for.
Yep.
But the booth is unaware of that one. There are a few penalties going around tonight.
Do you have the penalties for us?
I do. Give me 2 seconds here. There they are. So we have driver 656, who is B Rattler, currently with the P5 time, who has a 30-second time penalty, which gets added onto his pit stop to serve this week. Caps off. Hopefully it gets drier in the second half for you, and you can use maybe some tire change to your advantage, but that's going to be a tough one to deal with. And driver 713, which I am looking for, is B Roberts, is serving a pit lane start. So they are doing the appropriate thing and not qualifying so that you don't get the blank spot in the grid. And then we just do a little bit of honor system until you don't click drive, and it just moves you to the pits. So a few penalties to hand out, but overall this season, like, we're at round 6 out of 8, and there's been penalties, there's been crashes, there's been incidents, but overall it's only been 1 or 2 every race or so.
It has
So, like,
been.
caps off to the entire league. Like, we've all had incidents where nobody's going to be perfect, but some very good racing this season. A lot of competitive driving and a lot of trading paint and racing incidents rather than mistakes.
You know, it has been very, very clean all season. And I'm just looking at our leaderboard right now. I mean, we got Condola with a 56, currently holding P1 right now, stuck behind his teammate. Hopefully his teammate might let him buy some team orders going on to get a decent time, because T-Ma is just a slight bit behind him. And he is currently up on his time as well. But just looking at the overall board, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of very close times for everybody. This is going to be very, very, very impressive. Looks like Condola is going to call it right there. Can T-Ma make up half a second here and get himself in the P1 for the silver drivers? That's going to be the question. We could take a back at look too. Looks like Patches O'Houlihan up on his time. Current best lap so far, I think, is a 157. But everyone,
0.88.
I mean, besides your top 2 drivers right now, everyone right now is in the 157 range for the most part. Couple really low 158s. I think we're in for some very close racing here in the wet.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed coming out of last night's practice race, and that was only 30 minutes, you know, we may not get the same weather cycling, blah, 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 but just an overall perspective on the grid. It seems like confidence in your car may be a little bit more important than overall 1-lap pace here. So I wonder if some people, to a degree, I mean, the ability to have control of your car off of the dry line and still be driving at a competitive pace that may be 2 or 3 tenths off of the fastest. When you're up in that bunched up area off the start, you could be the driver who lucks out and comes out front while everybody else chews through their tires trying to get past you.
Yes. Yeah.
No question.
Definitely gonna have to be very, very consistent for this go around here. As our gold drivers come out, get their tires up to temp, we will take a look at the track map here. So Barcelona, out in Spain, coming down the long, very, very long front stretch into turn 1 and 2. Very, very crucial to get your lines right between these two. Really want to stay off the curbs in the wet so you could be nice and easy for turn 3 coming down that throttle. Very easy to gain time through there, very easy to lose time through there as well. We have a nice long sweeping right-hander coming into turn 4, bringing you down the short back stretch, or mid stretch if you want to call it, into sector 2, with a nice hard left-hander for turn 5 into 6 to turn 7 up the hill with a nice little straightaway, and then making the treacherous turn 9, which can really be a little bit tricky on timing. I think it's a very tough turn, but you come down the back stretch to finish out sector 2, then you come to the very, very tight left-hander of turn 11 into turn 12, and then probably my least favorite part on this track, turns 13, 14, and 15, which are probably the most crucial turns on the track to get, really can make or break your lap time overall. You can either lose half a second or you can gain half a second if you hit the right line coming through 16 down the front stretch, and that would be a full lap through Barcelona in Spain. Can't pronounce the whole entire title, and I'm not even gonna try.
I thought you
Circuit
just
of
did.
Barcelona, Catalunya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Better
Thank you.
than
Thank you. So as we look and our gold drivers are making it around, it looks like who is gonna be this? I think that Porsche is gonna be our first car out fully for a full lap. Are we on lap 2 already here? People
I
might
believe
be.
drivers have come around from their out laps already.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any valid times just yet. I see some deltas on the board, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, still seeing a lot of +5, +6, +7 gap deltas. So a pretty clear delineation between the two divisions. Although you do have a couple of outliers. Rigatoni with a +3 right now, so that's not too bad. Zitko with a +4. You know I have to root for my man Rigatoni.
I know you do. I know you do. And I'm gonna probably, my man Daniel's here in the McLaren. I don't know how much practice he's gotten this week, but I'll be rooting for my boy Daniels again this week.
There you go.
He's shown to be very, very good and keep up the pace in the wet, especially at Misano. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to handle Spain here as he takes P1 right now. Currently with a 155.8. Not too shabby.
Not at all. Holy cow.
What a big jump there. Almost a full second ahead of the silver drivers here.
Yeah,
And
that's a very
looks
impressive
like
time right
we're going to be
there.
getting Shabadoo holding down P2 currently. Oh, and here the times are rolling in now.
Yeah, they are. Two 155s between Zitko, Daniels,
Yeah.
Shabadoo with a low 156. He's just one good turn away from a 155.
Aoki currently with a delta sitting somewhere around a 155.5.
Where is this? There it is. Yes, it is. He is on a heater.
Yeah.
Can he hold
Holy
on to it?
smokes.
Is
And
he?
climbing.
Looks like he's gonna get hung up a little bit here, though, behind the Porsche.
Ah, he does.
That seems to be car 986 of Cockcroft.
Yes, it does.
Oh wow, look at the delta. That is
He
unfortunate.
just lost all of his time. It would be best for him to just back off a little bit, reset, because you, like I said, only 10-minute qualifying. It's so crucial to leave that little extra space. I think it's a little bit harder to do in the rain, though, especially, if you're comfortable with everybody around you, and you could see him coming into the pits here, probably trying to get a nice
That's a
reset
shame.
in. But yeah, it's tough, man. One little mistake from the guy in front of you, and if he didn't invalidate his lap and he keeps pushing, that little difference in time you could catch up so quick, so easily, and oof, it is.
Yeah. That's just it. You could be on a heater and you're 3/4 away. You're in sector 3 on the track and you're heading down to the final turn, and then the guy in front of you, of which you had a good gap between, you had your discipline and allowed for a good gap between. All of a sudden he's right on you, and maybe he didn't disqualify his lap. Maybe he's kept it within the boundaries and is still technically on a valid lap, well, what do you do then?
Yeah, yep. There's not too much you can do, and it looks like Stedman about half a second up on his time currently.
Now, I have a question to you guys, and this is every driver is different on this.
Okay.
And I say that because it is truly a courtesy thing. Now, I was looking at both of their numbers coming into that, and you said that was Cockcroft. I want to know for sure before
Yes,
Yep.
I do
Yep.
believe so.
Okay. So, on that note, looking at their deltas coming into that corner, so I believe it's Pat, is his first name, was
Yes,
down
yep.
5/10 coming into that corner, which, you know, whatever. Hit your braking point, go into the corner. He misses the corner. Now, at the point that he missed the apex, he was immediately at 7.5 tenths. If you're that driver, if you see that somebody else is coming up behind you on a hot lap and you're on a hot lap, you're trying to make up some time and you botch the next corner, do you get out of the way so that he can go finish his lap?
Well,
I'm the type of guy who tries to do that if it's safe.
if I think it's situational. I think it's every situation could be different, you know, depending on who's behind me as well. I try to be fair to everybody. I try to, if I make a major mistake and I know I'm just going to ruin someone's lap, I will 100% get out of the way. But if it's just a slight mistake, even if I'm just a little, like, 10th down on my delta, I'm still pushing, man. You know, like I said, everyone, the rules are you gotta leave space.
And no doubt.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant. It was purely a courtesy thing. Because,
Yeah.
like you said, you're still pushing. And that's why I phrased it and even brought it up, because of where we're at that point in the track, right? Like, we're coming into sector 3. Think about how hard it is to make up 5,
Oh,
even the 5 that he came into that corner with, 5/10 in that sector.
Yeah, and there's like I was saying through the track walk. I mean, once you get down to those last 3 turns through the chicane, that's it.
It's either
If
perfect
you don't
or
hit
bust.
it, yeah, if you don't hit it, you're losing time. You're guaranteed
Right.
to lose time. So it's especially this late into the season now, points are tight. We'll be going through the team standing and driver standings here in a minute, but they are very, very tight between the top couple drivers. And if I had somebody right behind me, I don't know if I'd get out of the way.
Yeah,
Fair
points are hard to come by right now. There's no question about it. To your point, though, regarding that question, I think it's, in my mind at least, is somewhat similar to the blue flag phenomenon, right? If I see someone, if I see that flash of a blue flag pop up on my screen, but then it goes away, and then I keep checking the rear view, and they're getting further and further back. I'm not going to be so motivated to slow down and let them get by me, because now I'm saying, okay, well, I can try to maintain my line, get myself in a good position going into my next valid lap here. Let's say it's at the end of my invalidated lap and I'm seeing the blue flag or whatever it may be. Maybe I'm coming out of the pits, but if it's not going to impede them and it's not going to hurt or help me realistically, then I'm not going to go out of my way. But if it's a situation where I'm not going to gain anything, but the person behind me can gain something, then you know what? I might lay off the accelerator on the next straightaway and let them get their kicks on.
It is definitely all strategic here, but as we finish up qualifying for the gold drivers, sitting in P1, we have Jacob Zitkow in the Aston Martin. Second place, Joe Shabadoo, another Aston Martin as well, proven to be very, very good in the wet. And my boy Sean Daniels holding down P3.
Hey, there you go.
Take a look at the team standings real quick as we get ready to roll into the race. As you guys can see, team championship standings, the Lightning Sharks are 2 top qualifiers, Jacob Zitkow and Joe Shabadoo, sitting with 642 points, 92 points in front of the second place team, which is Ghost Rider Racing, Cheaper Than Therapy, Sean Daniels, and Cube Master. Sitting in third place, Virtual Safety Car, another Aston team of Bryant and McDonald, currently 196 behind with 446 points, but still can catch up, not too far. Definitely not too far at all. And then we could take a pop over to the driver standings. And as you could see, you have Zitkow in first with 344 points. 51 points behind him is Bryant. Cube Master holding down the third place spot for Ghost Rider Racing, 58 points behind. And Aoki coming in for baseline, 93 points away from the leader. Really, all the way down to 5th and 6th, you have Daniels and Joe Galtieri in the Porsche, all within 100 points. It very easily could still be anyone's game for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah,
should
no question.
be some very, very interesting racing today. I am looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to happen here.
And even more impressive than the standings and the points that these guys are putting up was your ability to do quick maths.
Yeah,
And-
that quick
and have the
maths.
differential.
That quick maths was no magic right there. I can promise you that.
You did that calculation 45 minutes ago.
I did that
Perfect.
calculation straight
like
from the
it.
SRA website.
It shows you the delta.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
listen, it was that, or I could sit there and ramble on like I have in the past. I figured we got to step our game up. It's a new year, new me, right?
Exactly.
Bring it on, 2023.
I'm not ready. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
You already took Ken Block.
Between
You know
between
what?
Ken Block and
maybe
that
a moment of peace
crazy
for Ken
Bills
Block.
game last night, it is.
And that too.
It is going to be a
no
rest.
question.
But you know what,
I
Nate?
forget his name.
I do agree with that. We will give it a 20-second moment of silence as we take a nice little gander at all of our cars here for the legendary Ken Block. And I think that was 20 seconds. At least it felt like it.
Spot on.
But we are rolling here. Drivers are ready for our formation lap. I tell you what, man, I'm excited.
Quick drive.
I am excited. This is going to be a tight battle. I mean, like I was saying, just taking a look at the points again for the driver standings, like, Jacob and Byron, they got P1, P2 right now. Cube Master, I honestly don't know if he's racing today. I don't know. I actually don't see him. But Daniels, very easy. Aoki as well. All qualifying in the top 10 here. Could be anyone's game. Could definitely be anyone's game. The rain, again, like I've said in the past, the great equalizer. One of my favorite reasons for racing in the rain here.
No doubt. There's a lot of situations here in the dry where it's solely about who's got the biggest passenger seat for their accessories for carrying speed through corners. But like you said, that wet's a great equalizer, and it's honestly about who can control the slide around the corner, because it's nothing but a delicate dance trying to get through these mid and low speed corners.
It really is. You really got to be very careful on your braking zones, or trying to trail brake in the rain is always very dangerous. Easy on the throttle, especially when you're coming out of turn 3, going even into turn 4. I mean, really any of the turns you have a chance to spin it, but those are your real 2 danger zones. I have a feeling turn 3, possibly turn 2 as well, we're really going to see some action. I just got done doing an endurance race here not that long ago in the dry, and even in the dry, this track is tricky. Spain's usually known for being very hot. The track's heats up a lot. It's really easy to melt through some tires on this track. So the rain's kind of nice.
Very well put. And while we're talking about forecasting things, we are looking at a very crisp 23 degrees, 28-degree track temperature. And as far as we can see right now with the weather forecaster, we're looking at the same conditions for the next 30 minutes.
Oof. A little bit of light rain or medium rain, you think?
So this is considered medium rain or medium wet, which I think constant at this, we're not going to see a dry line for at least the first 5 to 10 minutes. So get ready for a lot of dancing cars and possibly yellow flags.
Yeah, it definitely will be an interesting first couple laps here as we are lining up too wide, coming through that final turn in the wet. Spain, Barcelona, can't pronounce the rest, but we are going to get ready to go as all the drivers are lining up here. Got their windshield wipers on, and they are going to cross the line. And we got a green flag, boys.
And we have a drive-through start for driver 196 for out of position on the start. K Con off to a unfortunate beginning.
And we're coming through first turn. It looks like Daniel's gonna try to pass. Got the inside line going into turn 3. Everything's looking nice and clean though.
Nicely done.
Beautiful start. Beautiful D5 start. Must have been watching the D6 guys, getting some tips because they have had the cleanest racing all season. And we got a big dive coming in from Shabadoo, I believe, there in second place.
And Shabadoo looking like he's going out there, kind of lost control on that turn. Maybe get a little heavy on the throttle, trying to get his exit.
In the midst of all that, 243 Stedman has fallen back down the grid. Looks like he came off the track at turn 5. Just landed himself in a little bit of sand.
Yeah, and as the drivers are starting to single file up already, looks like Nate, can we see how bad the spray is? Can we get behind somebody here and
absolutely
take a look
yeah,
mid-pack and see how this is actually going to be playing out here? Because this is going to be interesting. We got a big gaggle of cars out in the back here.
Yeah, sure do. So I'll go ahead and switch over to Patrick O'Houlihan. As people in front of him are going 3 wide right now, and you can see him battling for position.
They are. And it looks like we have somebody spinning off as well. The 418 of Kimball. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But it looks like kind of moving back up the top. It looks like we got a nice battle coming in through here for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Coming down the front straight. Who's going to get that inside line? Looks like someone's going to back out here. Nicely done. Nicely done. You know, besides some self-inflicted wounds, it looked like a nice, very clean lap 1. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, no question.
Now, I want to ask a question. Are they going 2 and 3 wide because they all want to make position, or are they trying to clear as much water off the track as fast as possible? By just sweepering everything.
I don't think
they're going for position. I think they're going for position in the right here.
Exactly. I don't think anyone out here is Mr. Clean right now.
Come on, you're telling me none of them's got a squeegee attached to the back of the car? They just like lowered the rear ride height all the way down?
That's right. Yeah, somebody's got to take
you see that Porsche sliding around, just saving it there.
Getting very, very, very lucky on that one. Looks like Shabadoo's closing down the gap to Daniels too. Just about half a second back. Not too far. As our leader, Jacob, holding down P1 right now. Sean Daniels in second. Shabadoo, 3rd place. Bryant in 4th. As they all start to kind of spread out just a little bit here. Not too much. Not too much. We still got a nice group of cars here. Looks like Rigatoni goes off track just a little bit.
Yeah, still manages to keep Cockcroft behind him though. Was able to just readjust, reevaluate,
Yeah.
and get himself back into position.
Yeah, and that's a tricky spot. It's not really a spot you want to try to pass in, like I said. And I think this is going to be the story. You could see Rigatoni just pulling away from him. Now, granted, the Porsche doesn't have the best top line speed here, but you know, it looks like Rigatoni was able to get that better line and hold on to some of his time coming through there.
Just a note, 196 K-Con, who did suffer the drive-through off the start, has 1 lap left to serve this since he just crossed the line there. Let's hope he has noticed. We have seen in the past that drivers have not noticed that they've gotten drive-throughs off the start of a race. My fingers are crossed. He's had a very good start. He's got himself up to a very nice position of P15.
He did.
And holding strong with his teammate right behind him.
That
yeah,
he
that's my
definitely
hope.
did.
I really hope he notices. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve.
Let's hope. Maybe he's going to try and slingshot his teammate away from that hungry Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. We got a nice little gaggle of cars here. Can the Coca-Cola Ferrari overtake the McLaren? That's going to be the question. And someone's going off track.
Con.
There he goes. Certainly going to be taking his pit stop. Now let's take a look back and see exactly what happened here as he's coming through. It looks like he just over brakes, maybe.
Ooh.
Gets through here, okay, but I think he gets on the throttle a little bit too much, coming over the top of the crest here. Just unsettles the car in a little bit of standing water. Or just spins around on him.
Yeah, right on the curbing. Oh, we got a huge pileup going on over here. What is going on?
What has happened?
What just happened here? We're gonna go back another 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. Oh, see, the Aston's bumping into each other. Mayhem.
Oh my word. And just pure mayhem on the track.
And that looks like turn 3. Like I said, one of the trickier corners. Oh man, what a pile up on that.
I will say the spun cars did a pretty, I would say an 8.5 out of 10 job, considering we all just took 2.5 weeks off of holding their brakes when they spun, waiting for a good opportunity to get back on track. I always like to praise people when they do that, because it's being a driver who's been on both sides of it, especially when you're the driver who's going faster on the track and somebody spun. It is very scary when you think you've got the room to go and then all of a sudden that car starts moving.
It is very, very, very much so is. Wow, we got a battle going on here for P3, P4.
Looks like a bunch of cars sliding around up at the top of the leaderboard.
Track. These guys are really starting to push. We got Shabadoo, Tima, Rigatoni, and Schultz all right there with each other. And if they just keep battling with each other, they're just going to keep losing time and letting Aoki and Condola pull themselves up. Even Greer. It's not going to take too much.
Yeah, this is that long distance accordion effect. You know, you get the immediate pile-ups on the turn ones, on, say, you know, the Monzas, where you really got to be careful on that first lap. But
I tell you what, from Bryant back down to Aoki, I mean, we got a nice group of cars here. They're all still pretty bunched up. There's no one really spread out all too much.
Right.
It's going to definitely make for some very interesting racing as Rigatoni's all over the back of that McLaren. Is he going to make the pass coming into turn 1?
He's gonna try.
Can he make it stick? Oh, he's going to file right back in. That would have been a very,
Schultz
very good opportunity.
Move around Cockcroft, and they make some contact, and Cockcroft actually spins out from it.
See that in the background there.
He does. We can pop back real quick, take a quick glance and see what happened coming into turn 1 here.
Cockcroft is trying to stay in his line, but Schultz just kind of
dive bombs in.
Give him any room.
Just a little bit. But I got to say, Aoki putting down the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:55.7. Very impressive. Very, very
Showing off
impressive.
that
It
pace
does.
he
I
had in
have to say,
qualifying.
it looks like maybe it was just that one turn there, but this kind of look like a dry line might start to be forming, which, Josh, you would be correct if it is, because we are just 10 minutes into this race. And we have seen a little bit of mayhem already.
That's right. I'm going to keep eyes on Cockcroft for a bit. He did a really good job of getting himself back on track and staying on Schultz's rear end there. So as you can see, Schultz, he's only 0.5 of a second ahead of him at this particular junction. So Cockcroft has a real chance to really come back from being wronged in that.
He does. He does. It thankfully didn't get too off track there and didn't really ruin anyone's race too much.
Oh,
But
Shabadoo throws a yellow flag and
Shabadoo.
spins out.
And there's
Byron
another
Ma.
big pile up front
Oh.
again.
Alarm bells are ringing. Everybody slow down.
Oh, and let's
Everyone
take a
just
look.
kind of piling there.
See what happened going into that chicane. I mean, that just looked like absolute mayhem.
Yeah, pure carnage.
Is it?
When we first flipped over there, it was like that Patrick siren thing. Wee
Oh,
woo,
he
and
just-
then everybody comes in really fast. Wee woo.
So it looks like Shabadoo went off on his own there, and there was just a little bit of contact from some of the other cars going in, but just slowing everybody down on the rejoin. May have spoke too soon there, Josh. Just a little bit. But as we pop back up to the front, Daniel's slowly catching up to Jacob here. Can he track him down in the rain? Daniel's maybe hoping for a little mistake from Zitko, as he is currently up on his time now too as well. Looking like we're getting some nice consistent 156s from the boys up front, holding down everything nice and steady. Daniel's probably doing everything he possibly can to try to gain some points in the driver's standings right now, trying to catch up. And it looks like still got another little gaggle of cars over here as well.
Aoki right on the back of Rigatoni. Looks like he's going for the move here into turn 9. Nope, backed out of it. But he is pushing on the back of him.
I
One of the
tell you
only
what.
drivers in the top 10 to be in the 55s.
He is looking very, very quick in the wet here. Still holding that fastest lap, and he is just burning through cars, especially with some people making some simple mistakes, unfortunately for them. But Aoki is just benefiting from it for the Baseline Racing team as they come down through the first straight.
Look at the grip he's got through that last corner. Had
And
such a good
that
run, he had
is-
to back off the throttle, and he's still going to get him here going down the straightaway.
The question is, will he back out this time, or is he going to
No, he
stick
will
the
not.
pass? Oh, he has definitely got this in the bag here. And that inside line coming in here. Oh, as they go
And
too
Rigatoni
wide.
sticks it on the
Wow.
Says, I'm not going to go so easy, sir.
Wow, what some nice racecraft right there. Very nice racecraft.
That's exactly how you want to defend a position. If you're going from an inside right to a left, just stay your line, defend it, keep your composure.
Well, you know, and Aoki's making a very good call here. He knows he's about a second faster. He just needs to be patient. He's got to find the right spot, play it safe, and there it is right there. Yep. As Rigatoni unfortunately goes wide, probably just breaks a little too late, and Aoki makes his way up to P3. What a move.
It's a lot of a mental game here in the wet. Taking your eyes off the road to check your mirrors is almost dangerous, but it's necessary when you get someone putting that kind of pressure on you.
It is.
And that very small mess up, unlike the dry where you miss your apex by a foot or two and you get a slightly compromised exit to a fighting next corner,
But
you just may be sliding off the track.
I tell you what,
Yep.
if he can keep his composure, he can keep the car straight. He's got a 10-second gap up to Daniels. It's already coming down. It's already coming down a decent amount here. Oh, as Daniels actually takes P1.
I think we need to see that move.
What
That must
did
have been a
we
switcheroo.
miss as they coming into the chicane? Yeah, he just gets up on him there. Very
Confidence on the
clean
apex.
pass. Beautifully
Well
done. Absolutely beautifully done.
Oh, it's 424 has had an incident at turn 9. Looks like they've gone a little bit deep and are waiting for an opportunity to get back on track. Seems they found one now.
But I tell you what, I think we're going to see Aoki popping up with those top 2 drivers there shortly. I mean, he is dropping time on them. He's consistently hitting 155s almost every lap as our leader and P2 are kind of battling each other, slowing each other down, and they've really been running like mid 156s. I don't know if they were just playing it safe or trying to not battle each other too much, but they are just opening the door for Aoki to catch up to him.
No doubt. And the tough part they have to deal with is he's smelling blood. He missed out on a lot of positions in the qualifying. He did not get that time back through the rest of his laps. He only ended up finding 2/10 of the 1.3 that he was up when that mistake happened. As we see an incident on track.
And it looks like the 2 Mercs have spun out going into turn 1 possibly. As they're coming down the front straight, just taking a look at the replay here.
Tried a little bit too hard
One
to hold
goes,
the speed. And then couldn't control the car.
That's why you gotta hold your brakes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if you're not gonna make the corner, that's no problem. Use the runoff, but you can't give up on braking altogether. You do still need to hit your brakes.
And it looks like we have another spin-off here. What has happened? Just missing the braking zone altogether. Sheesh. The mayhem unfolds.
I feel like everyone was confident after exiting lap 1 and then just went balls to the wall.
It was a very, very clean first couple laps, and the rain is just getting to everybody as we take a look at Rufus here.
Looks
in
like
the
he's
Bitch Peas livery, looking very, very nice.
Very
all over the back of
tongue-in-cheek
Greer.
team name.
I like it.
Very clever.
I like it. It's probably one of my favorite liveries this season.
Oh, no doubt. That was designed by, I believe, Stephanie Fisher.
I believe you are correct on that, and she makes some beautiful, beautiful designs. Very creative. You love to see it. As it's going just a little wide, it's got to be very careful on the painted section of the track right there. Can he hold on to it? But I gotta say, it looks like we got a little battle with Shabadoo and Schultz. Aston versus Ferrari. A little bit of action going on here.
Showing a little strength out here.
I tell you
I
what,
haven't heard much about them coming into this race, but they're turning their heads.
They are really seeming to like Barcelona here. And you know what? It looks like our top 2 drivers here, Jacob looks like he's catching up to Daniels here just a little bit, closing the gap down to about half a second, but he's dropping back. We'll take a peek at that here in just a bit. As it looks like O'Houlihan possibly trying to go for a pass on Brule.
Exactly.
Brule putting the blocks on him.
I'm keeping tabs on O'Houlihan back here, really trying to just do everything he can, and this might be it right here when he makes a pass on Brule, and he does, and he gets around him, and patience was key.
Like I said, rain, the great equalizer. It's always been my favorite. It's always been my favorite to race in it. It's not the best to learn a track in sometimes, but it's enjoyable. It's you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
Anything's up in the air. Absolutely.
I think I'm just
anything.
not realizing
And we got a nice battle coming down the front straight here. Sorry to cut you off, Nate Dogg.
No
but we
worries.
got the Coca-Cola car and the beautiful, beautiful Ferrari. Or is that a McLaren? Sorry. What do we got here? As makes the pass coming down to turn 1.
Makes it look easy.
Beautifully done. Absolutely beautifully done. And I want to just take a peek up here for the battle for first place. Looks like Jacob's catching up here. He's staying right on him. They're both finally getting down to that 155 range. It looks like some of that water is clearing off the track. Still looks like
Yeah.
it's raining a little heavy, but it doesn't look as puddly as it was at the start of the race. And I tell you what, I'm excited to see these guys stick with each other the entire race. We'll see how they divvy up the pit stops here, but ooh, it's turning out to be a exciting race. Still got a nice big bunch of bunched up group of cars here as well. Not too far back as we take a look.
Yeah, and Rigatoni's still within 0.2 of Schultz at the moment. So not only has he not really lost his placement, he's starting to gain on him. And now, even as I say this, he's still gaining on him. And so he's kept himself. He's done a really good job of keeping himself in the battle, trying to right the infraction that was placed upon him.
Yeah, they got Cockcroft right behind them, but behind Schultz and I believe Shabadoo right in front of him.
Yep.
Oh, as they both go wide into the dirt just a little bit.
Wow.
That's
And
gonna
that
hurt
may
him.
just be enough
There
for
he goes.
Cockcroft to make his move. And it looks
But
like he does. He's going to the outside.
can he make
But
it
can he beat
stick
that
though?
Ferrari power?
That Ferrari's got the inside line. Definitely got a
He
good
does,
advantage.
And he breaks early, letting Cockcroft take it.
Wow, I'm
Did not
I'm
want
surprised
to repeat
on
what
that.
happened earlier.
You don't, and that's that's one of the tricky things while you're racing, whether it's wet or dry. You get a little spin, and then it kind of gets in your head. You really got to work through that mental block and try to get your focus back on track here.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it looks
I gotta
like-
tip my cap to Cockcroft's patience and his discipline. This has been 4 laps coming now.
It has been, and I'm still watching the timing board here. Aoki hasn't. I really thought he was going to make up some time and start catching up to P1 and P2, but he's still hovering right around 8-9 seconds as the front two battle a little bit less and able to hit their times really towards that 155 range.
Yeah, I've been keeping my camera on him, just having a look, watching. Ooh, as he makes a little bit of a bobble there coming through turn 10. But Rigatoni's actually starting to catch back up to him ever so slowly, little bit each lap, but he's definitely in his mirrors now. He's making his presence known.
That he definitely is.
I would have to, at the eyeball test, about a second back.
And we're just taking a look at Harold McDonald trying to get some moves in there. Can he make it stick coming in here? Nice pass on the inside. Ooh.
Get on the apex, cheeky move,
Little
but it's legal.
had to check up on the brakes there coming in, pushing them a little wide, and it looks like Stedman possibly going to get around Chunk as well. Can he make it happen though? That's going to be the question. He's looking pretty solid.
Now, while we watch this, I peered over to the other 2 divisions that are currently live at the moment, Division 1 and Division 4. Fun fact. Our leader is the only McLaren in any of the 3 divisions that is in the top 10.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Small tidbit, but just looking at what cars are dominating and if it's a trend, definitely seeing a lot of Ferraris up in the top.
Yep.
Division 1 has quite a few of the Honda NSX, which is lacking in this division, but, that mixes up their grid. And the only other variant is Mr. Cockcroft is shared by 2 Porsches in Division 1.
And I tell you what, that Porsche is putting in some work as Cockcroft makes his way up to P6, passing Shabadoo and Schultz.
Deep.
Shabadoo did go very deep there. And I just seen a yellow flag pop for Aoki. What is going on up here? As he's got Rigatoni all over the back of him now. Can Rigatoni get the pass on him? That's going to be the question. Rigatoni really digging in deep to catch back up.
Yeah, he's digging his heels in. He's been doing everything in his power to just make up that gap, and that energy's been paying off.
You know what? Aoki too just set a new fastest lap of the race again with a 155 flat.
Yeah,
last lap.
He's one you can never sleep on either.
He is moving up as he puts a little bit of distance between him and Rigatoni, and we'll drop back down. Take a look at Rufus here again. In the McLaren, I gotta say, there's 4 Ferraris on the top 10 right now. Looking pretty good. We only got 2 McLarens up here, 2 Astons, and a Beamer.
Two
Pretty
things I
solid.
wanted to bring up. One is a little bit more pertinent than the other. We're at 35 minutes here. Pit window's going to be opening soon.
Ooh.
But we can see very close to the end of the race, conditions do not seem to be changing for the rest of the race.
Very,
All right.
very interesting.
Second note being, I had a chat with the D5 manager before the race got started regarding Mr. Rufus's questionable qualifying attempt there during the silver bracket.
Okay.
Nobody can confirm if he was supposed to be out there. So we may be seeing some post-race infringements if he was not supposed to be out there during that qualifying session. So I'm hoping for his sake, keep it up, get a good position, because then if they give you a big time penalty, it's not going to hurt you too bad, but that'd be a double whammy if he has some self-inflicted wounds tonight. As the pit window opens for our drivers to come on in for their 1 liter.
And there it is.
Who is going to be the first person to dive into the pits? I tell you what.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were Aoki, right? You're 9 seconds back. You got clean air in front of you. Do you wait and try to overcut Daniels and Zitko?
I think I do exactly what he's doing right now, which is pit.
He is coming in for the undercut.
Not necessarily. Well, undercut, yes, but the one thing that I think's hurting him now is he did such a good job of getting through the pack cleanly, and then just pushing while the track dried up. And I think he's overworked the tires a little bit. Needs to give him a genuine break. There's a ton of water in the pits, and it does actually have a cooling effect a little bit. I mean, you're not going fast enough for it to have that big of one, but it will cool down the tires quite a bit. And he's going to have the chance to come back out here and pump back in some 55s.
That is very true. Now, hopefully,
he tried to stick it out there. Might make that gap a little bit harder to bring back.
That is very fair. This is why I am not good at strategy when it comes to this. He is going to be coming out in a little bit of traffic here. Can he get out nice and cleanly? And it looks like he can. So far, so good. But he's in a good position now, getting his pit stop cleared. About 51 seconds back from our leader. Very, very curious to see how this is going to play out after our pit window closes in 8 minutes. And I tell you what, I think there's going to be a lot of people coming in the pit early, clear out some damage.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that going around.
Yeah, there's a couple cars I clicked on. The hoods didn't look all that tied down.
That's right.
I can confirm that, as it looks like Rufus again trying to make another move on gear. Is he gonna make it happen though? As he goes wide, very unfortunate, very dangerous spot to go wide too. Very easy to lose the car going over them big yellow sausage curbs.
Number for the fans at home, we are looking for. Ren Aoki dives down the inside.
Oh,
and makes contact.
Oh no.
Spinning himself and Ma out.
In
In the background, 424 collects a 30-second stop and go.
Oh, could be.
I was about to say the magic number is 40 seconds. About 45 seconds for the average splash and dash pit stop right now. But I think that could
be out the window
59,
right there.
So
but he is quick. He can make time if he can fight his way back up to the pack. Still got a long ways to go. Only about just a minute over halfway through this race. And it looks like Shabadoo's coming into the pits now as well. And our leader's down, coming to the back stretch here. Daniel's just pulling a nice gap. Pulling a very, very, very nice gap on Jacob here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the actual, as the race stands right now, where people in the grid are landing. Daniels started in the grid at P3. Zitko, who's currently in P2, started in the grid at P1. So that doesn't surprise me much. Rigatoni started the grid at P6. He's currently P3. Kyle Crofts started in the grid at P7. He's currently P4. But then after that, it gets a little crazy. Now you're going 15, 11, 16, 17, 12, 25, 26.
Yeah,
And you got a lot of guys just making their moves.
And I tell you what,
Now,
with Daniels only being 95 points back from the leader, I mean, a win here can be huge to gain up some points. You know, I think it's what 100 points for first place, or 110.
110 points.
110,
okay,
and then
110.
I think the max you can get is 111 if you get pole position
Fastest
or
lap.
fastest lap. So there's definitely some points to be gained here. We got what, two more races after this or so.
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah, we got Laguna Seca, and then actually the other one escapes me right now.
Kalami at night.
Kalmar, I can't pronounce it. I call it calamari.
Calamari?
Yeah, calamari.
Everybody's least favorite snack until they become a semi-adult.
And it looks like
I don't know if I've ever
Aoki's
had it.
just trying to fight his way back up through here, just getting caught up in traffic. Oof. But he is, I tell you what, still sitting around. He's at like the 59 mark. Still going to be rough. We still got 4 minutes left, almost 4.5 minutes left in our pit window, as Aoki's going to make the move coming into P. Whoa, turn one, and he gets spun again.
No,
not again. God, I got to stop putting the camera on him. I apologize. I apologize. We're going. I don't want to go to. We'll go to Rigatoni. We'll go to Rigatoni. He's doing solid. Huckroft had enough spin.
Get that camera off of him.
Still. It looks like Jacob's falling back from Daniels too. Just a little bit each lap, maybe a tenth or two. Daniels really staying solid, keeping down the 156s pretty consistently. Very, very impressive, as it looks like Rigatoni is going to be coming into the pits, the first of the top three. Oh, the second of the top three, as Zitkow's also going to be sitting here in the pits. Going to be very curious to see where they come out, as Daniels is just coming out of turn 3 here with 3 minutes to go. Do you think he tries to push for an extra lap, or do you think he pits this lap? That's going to be the question. I think he's going to have to pit this lap. I think if he goes around again, he might not have the time that he needs. And it looks like we got some people slowing down into the pit lane. I'm going to keep an eye on Daniels here. I want to see when he pits. And
I think Daniels easily has another lap in him.
I think he does too. I think he's got enough time there.
It's going to be a matter of, I think it might come down to a matter of A, if he makes a mistake on that last lap, and B, how much confidence he has in taking speed on that pit lane entry, because it's dangerous in the dry, let alone the wet.
Yep, as Sitko came out of the pits here, down in P4. Currently got Rufus in front of him. I don't know if Rufus has pit yet. I unfortunately cannot see that. I see Stedman getting a stop and go 30. Kimball with a stop and go 30 as well, and Finkel with a stop and go 30. Looks like that just got cleared actually. But Stedman, that's gonna hurt his race there. And Daniels comes into the pits.
Interesting choice. Now Rufus was at about 42 seconds back when he came into the pits. So those top three, yes, they haven't pitted, but Rufus is about a full pit stop behind Daniels.
He is.
So that's a lot of time to make up.
And I am very curious to see where he's going to come out. I have got the camera on Zitko here. Jacob kind of getting slowed down by the Merc in front of him as the Merc goes wide. and he's coming through the chicane. Daniel's still showing to be in the pits. Is he gonna make it out? As Zitko coming down the front line, Daniel's coming out of the pits, easily gonna get
89
this
stop and go, 30 seconds for speeding in the pit
down.
lane.
Oh,
Oh,
no
no.
way.
And
As
he
Daniels takes the first 35 minutes of this
Wow.
race and just says, forget about it.
that is
Tossing it out the window. I don't need it.
unfortunate.
Absolute heartbreak. I'm feeling it in the booth. I hope he's feeling it in the driver's seat.
I'm
Oh,
sure he
'cause-
is.
Oh no.
Oh, but I tell you what, I'm sure Jacob was happy to see that pop up, because now he's only 6 seconds behind. Daniel still has to pit for that stop and go 30 now. Easily will put Zitko out in the front, with Rigatoni right behind him, who I believe still has to take a pit stop, or did he pit already?
Let's take a look.
We are
here.
asking about Zitko. All drivers have
no.
made at least one pit stop.
Okay, so if that's the case, your provisional poll here is going to be Jacob, Rigatoni, and Aoki. And I tell you what, I don't think Aoki is going to be sitting back too much longer. Or, sorry, Rigatoni. Rigatoni is all over the back
Yeah, he
of
is.
Jacob. All over the back of him.
Yep.
And they got a nice comfortable buffer of 20 seconds to Aoki, but we saw Aoki the first half of this race really put the power down. Can he catch up? That's going to be the question. And as it looks like Stedman coming in to clear his penalty. Take a wander down the leaderboards. Daniel's coming into the pits now too to serve his penalty. He's going to be dropping down from P1.
There's that full pit stop behind for Rufus, but Rufus has fallen all the way back to P10.
Yeah. Yes, he did. And I gotta say, some of these boys, Stedman's the one that had the penalty earlier. Dropped him down to P19, unfortunately. But it looks like Rigatoni's still really trying to push this. The cars really seem to be getting spread out here. As Daniels is going to be... Is he going to be coming out of the pitch just yet? He's down to P9 currently. Dropping down to P10 as Patches O'Houlihan makes his way up to P9. Happy to see that. Holding down second place for our
Absolutely.
silver drivers. And we'll take a look at our pole position for silver. And that is Harvey Condola in the BMW for Ghost Rider Racing. Yeah, we might have a nice little battle brewing here between Greer and Byron. Oh, no, Byron and Schultz, sorry. I think this is not the first time they have gone at it this race. And I tell you what, Byron is really trying to make that push. Trying to gain some time here. He is P2 in the driver's standing, so every position counts with only 2 races to go after this. And Rufus looks like he's in the pits, taking his stop and go 30, dropping down the leaderboard. Very, very unfortunate. Got to make sure you guys practice those pit stops.
Yeah, that's a huge, very commonly overlooked practice session, in my opinion, is just nailing those pit stops. Probably not so much in the the higher divisions, D1, D2, D3, but
I tell you
D5,
what,
D6, you can really gain some time on folks by just nailing those pit stops.
any time that I join a practice session, if I got to go make an adjustment to my setup, that's instead of just returning the garage,
Do the
just practice a pit stop.
Exactly right.
It pays
yeah,
off.
every opportunity.
It pays off. And it looks like Rigatoni's really trying to push down. He's about almost half a second back. Oh no, he's pushing. He's pushing. Can he get the power down though? Get into that draft as he's trying to make a push down the back straight.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, the battle for P1 continues. I think these boys are going to be going out of here for quite some time.
You love to see it. Let's go, Rigatoni. I gotta tell you too, Patches O'Houlihan. He was holding steady midfield. Now he's made his way up to the single digits. He's P9 right now. He's making some moves.
He's having a nice, solid, consistent race.
Yeah, and Steven Brule, who just always
and Schultz
seems like he's right behind him.
Schultz gets a drive through.
Oh, track limits.
Ooh.
No kidding.
And I think I know which corner is
And
to
Rigatoni's
blame.
coming in down the front straight, coming into turn 1. Can he make it
authority.
stick?
Yes.
Ferrari
Yes.
power just outdoing
Okay.
the Aston right down that front straight.
Absolutely.
That Ferrari looked like it had superhuman grip at that apex.
I
It just turned in. He looked like he got on the throttle completely, and it just said, "Let's go."
Yeah.
I gotta
As if it
say,
was on
yeah,
rails.
that was very, very impressive. I might need to check out that Ferrari for next season. Let's see if Jacob can keep the pressure on him, keep that gap going. They're running similar times. Both their best laps are within a tenth of each other.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Jacob responds to that move because
He's gonna respond by overdoing it, going a little wide and losing a little bit of time.
see, and
Dropping
that's exactly
back
what I was
almost
wondering.
2 seconds now.
When you go immediately in one turn from being the person who has pressure being consistently applied to you, and then the mental shift, that whole paradigm shift where you have to be the one to give the pressure, knowing full well that you just gave up that position. Oftentimes it leads to people kind of overreaching.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Schultz served his drive-through, came out right in front of Daniels. Daniels is doing everything he can to try to make a move on him, and what a place!
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
What a
Rigatoni.
place! Oh, what happened?
He spun on his own in
No!
sector 3 and just kept himself off to the side safe, but lost the position in the process.
Oh,
You
hate
gotta
to
love
see
his
it.
commitment to the actual rules, though. Waiting, ensuring that he enters the track safely.
Yeah, and it looks like Rule possibly going off as well. Let's take a look back and see what happened as he comes out.
I wonder what's going on here. He's just
he's got all the
stop.
time to make a track appearance. He's
stopped.
his windshield wipers are going are just fine, but the engine's not really moving.
He's in neutral. Not in gear. Engine is not running at the moment.
Oh,
We'll check back in on.
he's
Look,
back
he's
on.
putting some inputs.
He's back on track, Rigatoni.
No, we are looking at Brule. He's just kind of stopped up here on the hill. I've got my eye on him.
Oh,
I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. And I
wonder if he's had a malfunction. He's in gear now. Looks like he's waiting for an opportunity.
Whatever it is, it's got to be incredibly frustrating. I
Oh,
can't imagine any
I
of this is by
wonder.
design.
he went back to pits.
Return to pits. I think I know what happened. I wonder if he stalled and did not
have a key
the
bind.
appropriate
I
buttons
was
mapped.
I was just thinking that myself, Josh. Just thinking
Oh,
about that
son
because
of a
I tell you what, when I spin
bitch.
out and I get into that kind of panicky mode of making sure I'm not going to run into anybody, I always forget. I go to hit the gas pedal, and the car doesn't go
Nothing.
anywhere, and I go, oh crap,
Yeah.
oh crap,
Yep.
not good. And it
Yep.
looks like Schultz coming in for a stop and go 30 again. And Daniels, oh, what happened to him? Dropping back down to P12. Looks like he just possibly got out. Oh, just braking for someone spinning out in front of him. Kind of getting caught in the grass. Well played, though. Don't want to get that damage. Really, just that damage control at this point from that stop and go 30 from the pit earlier. As we take a look at our Aoki, seeing if he can slowly gain some time as Rigatoni made that mistake earlier. Don't really, everyone else is kind of really getting spread out here.
Yeah, you're starting to see a real even spread along the track. You know, which tends to happen as the race goes on.
I have to say, guys, who do you think here? I got a little update for you. We got B. Roberts in the McLaren. Right, I'm take a gander over here for Wonderland Racing. Started 28th on the grid. You guys want to take a guess at how many positions he is up right now?
Ooh, 9?
19.
I was gonna say 11. 19.
19
What a push.
positions. He is our biggest gainer so far. And
Wow, good for him.
Farrell, who is in P10, gained 17. Very, very, very impressive. And unfortunately, Schultz down 13 positions. Started P5. Had to pit 3 times, unfortunately, but you know, it happens. Unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah, no question. And you got Pat Cockcroft in the picture-in-picture, currently finding himself 1 position away from podium. Doing a good job of keeping
Podium.
Byron.
Podium.
Yeah, he's in P4.
He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there. He's
Oh,
had
yeah. Cockcroft?
his race has been up and down a little bit, but he is really starting to put the hammer down.
Yeah, I have full faith. He's doing a good job defending Byron and gaining time on Aoki.
Yeah, and Aoki looks like he's just getting into a little bit of lap traffic here.
Yep. I'll tell you, it's really hard to do both. To defend and make moves. You know, it's real hard to do both. Cockcroft showing that that's not out of his repertoire though right now.
That is definitely true. And as we just take a quick peek at Jacob, currently your points leader and your race leader, holding down that P1 spot. He's got someone right behind him. Looks like Stedman. Currently P16, but doing a good job of keeping his distance there. Doesn't want to mess the race up too much, as everyone really starting to spread out here. Oh, as Stedman just comes on the inside and almost takes out Jacob. Very, very dangerous. Now, I know you can unlap yourself, but you got to do it safely, boys. You got to do it safely.
Yeah, and even even on an offensive 4 positions sake, I personally wouldn't be going for a move there.
I would not either.
It's sketchy enough doing that with 1 car.
O'Houlihan really finds himself being the line in the sand right now. P1 through 7, you have him within
30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe I'm misreading that. And then you have O'Houlihan, who's an additional 16 seconds behind them.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Condola too, making his way up to P6 currently. Gained 2 positions, started P8 on the grid. Having a nice solid race. Not a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Slowly,
no question.
Slowly working himself up there.
He's been rather unassuming, you know. Hasn't made a lot of mistakes, hasn't made any blasting moves, but still finds himself, you know, he's been in top 10
Yeah, and it
the
looks like
majority of the
we
race.
have
Oh,
a
Zico throws a
little
yellow flag.
spin out. Let's see. Take a peek at what happened. Looks like just catching the yellow sausage curve on the outside,
Ooh, yep.
tapping the wall.
Mm.
Thankfully, not
then-
taking anybody else out in the process.
No question, no question. Yeah, that re-entry was fortunate, I would say, for the rest of the grid.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you know what? Rigatoni looks like he has starting to make up this gap as we have 10 minutes left to go. Just over 10 minutes to go in this race.
That's right. While we were watching that replay, Jacob made a little bit of a bobble coming through turns 7, 8, I believe it is, the S, before that awkward uphill right-hander that's super blind and everybody hates in both conditions. And lost about 4 seconds worth of gap, and Rigatoni smells the lead and is not letting his foot off the gas.
And he is definitely trying to capitalize on that. Definitely
Yep.
gonna try to
Yeah, no
capitalize every
question.
little bit that he can. And it looks like Daniel's making his way up to P11, trying to get back up into that top 10 as he's coming up on Farrell here. Can he make the move through the last sector? Is he gonna play it safe? Nope. He's going for the move. What a little bit of a love tap. McLaren on McLaren action.
Oh, wow.
But he gets by. Can he hold on to it though? That's going to be the question.
Rigatoni doing a solid
And we are
job
going to
of-
watch
of-
this battle to the front straight, and we are going to jump right back up to Rigatoni here. I could see him starting to close that gap in for P1.
He has, yeah. He's brought it from a 2-second gap to about a 0.8 of a second gap.
Can Jacob hold on to P1? Just got to stay stable and steady for 9 more minutes. Can he hold it? I think.
Yeah, that's a long 9 minutes in this race. It's really, I feel like this has been white knuckle the entire time. I don't feel like there's a single racer in this match who's not sweating balls right now.
I can agree with that. An hour race in the rain can be very, very tricky.
That's right.
Gap for the leader down to 0.8 of a second. This Jacob's making a little bit of a bobble coming out of those S's. Looks like that Aston's starting to scramble for grip. On board with him here, I'm looking at, he's got his ABS clicked all the way up to 10 out of 11, so that shows you how much he's pushed that car today. For reference, most Aston setups in the wet I've seen has been around 7 or 8. So someone's been a little naughty on their brakes.
Uh-oh.
He is definitely pushing, doing the late braking. Looks like still able to kind of hold Rigatoni off here, though. For now, we will see if that can continue through the rest of this race. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does look like Rigatoni has a faster Sector 2 currently.
Oh, let's see here.
Now that I'm not sure, but I can say he did have a faster last lap by 9/10.
Yes, he did.
That's about all I have to offer, but I
He
will say
most
I think
certainly
that
did.
Ferrari might just sneak up behind the Aston and wait for the mistake. You know,
That
not push too hard.
probably
He
will
got
be the
ahead
play.
and tried to push away last time.
Yeah, and it looks like Rene Oki still holds the record for the fastest lap overall with a 1:55.09. In the wet, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and as we can
It's pretty
see,
quick.
he is really starting to get all over that back bumper. Got to deal with a lot of spray coming off the Aston
Yeah, he is.
as they start coming down the front straightaway here. Aston's
Yeah,
just
how's that
pulling
single
away from
wiper
him.
doing for you?
Yeah, the spray is a little rough. It's definitely rough, but not too bad. It's not too bad when it's just two cars there, but once you get a pack in front of you, it's difficult to navigate.
Oh yeah, yeah. At that point, you're at a complete whiteout. It's just you got your goggles on, your scuba gear, and you're praying for the best.
That you certainly are.
Sometimes I just wish I could like hook the wiper up to the engine or something just so I can make it speed a little bit faster, because
Just supercharge
there's
it.
times where I'm behind a car and I got this thing on 3 and it's almost like I don't have the wiper on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on. Can't see. But
Yeah.
that's half the fun. Having to rely on instincts to know
Oh.
where
Right.
the corner is and where your braking points are.
Exactly.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
you could see these guys really pushing this here, trying to use all the track, and Rigatoni's all over the back of Jacob. Is he gonna try to go for the pass here, or is he gonna wait? He is gonna back it off here just a tiny bit as they're really
Yeah.
coming in.
Rigatoni's been doing a fantastic job all evening of maintaining discipline.
Oh, and
he looks
Rigatoni's
to be
coming in
inside.
for the
As
pass.
he goes right now, is it going to be enough to bring him along? It
And
just
it-
may be as he takes the inside,
But
and he does.
Still 2 more
Oh,
turns
but
to go. Is
there
Jacob gonna
are-
get it back? Rigatoni leaving him plenty
He's
of
got
room.
one more inside, and he does. He gives him room.
Oh, and Rigatoni
no, and he
spins.
spins it. No way.
Oh, and
And
Aoki
comes to
coming
take P2.
through.
He does. Oh,
Oh, as-
Rigatoni just got a little aggressive on the throttle.
Things are
Spun it on the
starting
curb.
to heat up as we come to our last 4 minutes and 30 seconds of this race.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you hate to see it, but man,
Ah,
now Rigatoni's really gonna start pushing, try to get that
Yeah.
P2 spot back.
I just,
Can he
I
make
really
it
hope
happen?
he doesn't get overly aggressive trying to make up for that gaff. Is
That
my hope.
definitely could
Let's
be.
salvage it. Let's reset the mind focus here. Let's buckle back in and maintain our composure.
We have red flags in P2. We have red flags in P2. Ren Aoki has broken his fastest lap time with a 54.967.
Holy
Holy
He has
shit.
already
cow.
closed a second and a half since getting past Rigatoni. Can Ren come back here in the end of this? Can
No
we have
kidding.
a big switcheroo going on?
It's
You better not have switched off the stream already.
It is possible. It is very possible. As we can see some back markers getting out of the way for this wild battle between Rigatoni and Aoki now, as the lapped car gets stuck in between them.
Oh my word.
Ah, what a smart play by Aoki. Very smart using the back markers. They
To
have a-
your advantage.
Yes.
Dropping them like green shells.
That's right. And Rigatoni just trying to
God.
get his move around.
He's doing everything he can here. See if he takes it a little bit more cautious coming through here. He's all over the back of that McLaren, trying to just get around him. Not the best spot to pass either, but
Well, as Jacob doesn't get a very good exit onto the straightaway. Ren's going to gain a little bit of time here. These Ferraris have been showing a lot of grip in the mid and high speed corners still here at the late bits of this race. So let's see how much time he gains on Jacob here through sector 1. This is going to be where it's critical. He's only got about 1 lap left, maybe 2 if he's lucky.
yeah, the Ferraris are definitely showing their strength in the wet here at Barcelona. What a final couple laps this is turning out to be.
But no question.
Well, Jacob misses the apex and that's going to hurt him.
That's,
Ren gains a lot of time there.
oh, and as he's coming down the straightaway, he's pushing. He's pushing.
Oh, and Jacob misses another apex. That's going to hurt him brutally. Oh, Ren's going to stick his
Oh.
nose
Ren
in
is
if he gets
right
there.
on him.
I think
Yeah.
he's gonna go for it right here, guys. Oh, he's back on. He's
Oh,
gonna
he's
back out.
smart.
It's probably a smart choice. Don't want to risk it here too much. He knows he's got
Yeah.
some really good straight line speed coming up ahead of him. So does the Aston, but I think Jacob might be struggling here a little bit on his tires.
Oh, and here comes the run. Look at that closing speed before they even exited the corner. Can he find a hole to stick his car in?
Yeah, and
Not
Jacob
this
just trying
time
to
around.
close every lane possible.
And every little inch of this battle of the blocking and braking, Rigatoni slowly working his way back up from P3.
Oh, Jacob misses the apex again.
Exactly.
Is he going to lose
And
the position the same way
Aoki's
as last
coming
lap? And he does.
in.
Can he hold it for this corner? Does he overcook the brakes? Stays at the apex
Still
and Jacob
going a
overcooks
little
the brakes.
wide.
All right.
Rigatoni's right back in the mix to
Rigatoni's
pick
right
P2.
there.
Aoki taking your
Aoki's
first
take off.
spot.
In P1.
Yeah, Aoki's just gonna take off. He's no longer limited.
He is taking
by
off
that.
as Rigatoni's making another power push, trying to get up to P2.
And this is the last lap.
This is definitely going to be a spicy last lap. Can the three amigos hold on to it here?
I think they can. I'm predicting Aoki, Rigatoni, Zitko, Cockcroft.
I'm seeing a little bobbling from Jacob, though. He's just got to hold and defend one more lap. And I think Rigatoni's, if he gets close enough, he is going to do everything he possibly can to get around him.
No question. Yeah, and Rigatoni takes a great line right there. He's really kind of building up some speed.
He is working the back bumper of that Aston Martin. Can we have a double podium here? P1 and P2 for the Ferraris, or is the Aston going to keep them split? That is going to be the question as they're coming down the back straightaway here. Everyone going very wide. Rigatoni getting a little sideways, going onto the runoff area.
I paid for the whole track. I'm using the whole track.
That's
yes, right. That is a very, very good way to look at it. I'll tell you what, that's a scary turn to come in the wet and use that curbing. You got to hit it just right.
Yep. Otherwise, it'll send you careening.
It will. It will. Is Rigatoni coming through the chicane here? Is he going to go for the move on the outside?
No. Unless
one
Jacob
last
misses
turn.
his apex here, which he does not.
Nope. Everyone's looking solid.
Great race, folks. 1, 2, 3 in your picture right there.
What a beautiful finish. Exciting last couple laps here as Aoki holding down for P1. Jacob with the second place. Rigatoni in third. You got Cockcroft coming across in P4. Byron behind him. Condola coming around for P6. Looks like Robert's going off track at just the last minute there. Very unfortunate. Patches O'Houlihan making his way up.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, he has had a great race starting from 22nd, gaining 14 positions, coming across the line in P8. He is going to be very, very happy. Great consistent race all season. All season long, he's been having phenomenal races.
Yeah, you cannot sleep on O'Houlihan. He's shown that he has a lot of discipline.
And it looks like Daniels is going to end up finishing P8, making his way back up into the top 10 after his stop and go 30. Very, very exciting. Guys, what a race this has been.
That I'm going to say right now, has been the most entertaining race this season.
It has been.
From start to finish, there was overtakes. There was people fighting to keep their own car on the road, let alone fighting to make a position.
That's right.
Just action after action after unfortunate, met with amazing comeback drive, met with 20-something positions gained by some drivers. Like, what a showing from Division 5 tonight. And another round of these of our lower speed divisions showing much higher racecraft and much higher entertainment value than our top end. So caps off, pats on the back, and a few extra fireworks for you guys.
It has been an absolute blast watching these guys. Like I said, the rain always bringing in such a great, absolutely great racing all the time. Can we see if we could pull up Aoki, Rigatoni, or anybody in our top couple finishers there? Because that was definitely impressive.
Having a look.
It looks
I
like
do not see.
Rigatoni is in race review 3. Love to get his input.
Yeah, the only person I see is Daniels. Don't see anybody else. But man, what I can't believe those last couple laps there. That was spectacular.
Yeah,
That was
I mean, that was a great show all around.
it was. It really was. And I'm very much so looking forward to Laguna Seca next week. I think it's going to be very interesting. And a big shout out to all of our sponsors as well. Couldn't do it without all you guys, all the support, all of our affiliates. We also have the Transatlantic Cup coming in this Sunday. It is SRA versus the ONID boys across the pond. Should be some very spicy racing. I know myself, I'm looking forward to it. Happy I get to participate. Josh, I know you're going to be in it with us too.
Yep, it's going to be a boatload of fun, and it's I said this on the podcast, which you can also find on the Super Racing Alliance YouTube channel, in this week's episode, that it honestly kind of feels like a little bit of an honor. There was only 20 drivers picked from both of these leagues, which both of them were well over 1,000 people.
Yes.
1,000 registered drivers in these leagues, and they only picked 20 drivers each. So like, no matter skill rating, like nobody's necessarily trying to win here. Like, we're not trying to field the 20 fastest drivers, because then I would not be on that list.
Neither would I.
just to be picked to represent the league is a big honor.
Yes, and it, like I said, it's going to be a major blast. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, like you said, it is a very nice honor to be picked for this. I mean, just looking at everybody that had joined in here. I mean, you got anybody from D1 gold drivers to D6 drivers joining us here. I know Patch Zohulahan's going to be driving in it as well. It's going to be some spicy racing. I'm
No
definitely looking forward to everything coming up this weekend. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
For sure. Now, before I drive him crazy by making him sit in the cool down room for too long with Loic, let's bring Panzo Rigatoni up here into the commentator's booth, as he is the only person from the podium that we can find at the moment. Mr. Rigatoni.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to the commentator's booth.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling? What a race that was.
Heart's pumping, man. Heart's pumping.
I believe it.
Oh.
I tell you what, we were getting very excited. The first couple laps were very clean. There was a lot of chaos kind of unfolding after maybe the first 10 minutes. But man, those last 5 minutes of racing.
Woo!
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and take a look.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely going to be a nice replay to watch.
Yeah, and some lessons learned for me. I don't know. Some of those overtakes I should have maybe waited, but heat of the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a nice cool head during all of it, but
yeah,
you did a very nice job.
Thank you.
Big congratulations on a podium spot there.
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish. What's going through your head, if you don't mind? Take us through a little bit, kind of the last lap or two there. You're fighting for P2. You're making offensive moves. You're also defending. A little bit of a burnout there when it looked like you caught the curb a tad right at the last section of the last lap. What are you thinking at this point? How are you keeping your cool? A lot of people would have just lost it right there.
Well, that was the thing, because when I was trying to take over P1 there, and I can see that Ren Aoki was catching up to us. So I wanted to try to create a barrier between myself and Ren, but went for the overtake, and like, I don't know what happened. I guess you said I hit the curb, but when I hit the throttle, just car spun around, and I was just getting nervous. So I just kind of lightly tapped the throttle again to see if I can spin it around one more time. And it worked out that time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you made a hell of a recovery. It really was.
That was a
It
great
really was.
recovery drive. All race
Thank you.
was absolutely beautiful. Definitely looking forward to see you guys race at Laguna next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The wet always puts on a show.
That it
No
does.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That it does.
The
Well,
equalizer, if you will.
yes, big time. Yeah.
we will let you run. I'm sure you want to go watch that replay there. Have a
Yes.
great night, and thank you very much for all the action tonight.
Oh, thank you guys too. You guys put on an amazing show yourselves. I love watching back the commentary.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks,
Appreciate it.
Rick Tony.
Much appreciated.
All right, guys, have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah, always a
boys.
pleasure to talk with him. Just always super humble, super down to earth.
Yes, very, very good. And I gotta say, guys, oof, I'm still pumped from this race. I personally can't wait to watch it back again. Those last couple laps there were just
I know
intense. There was some real close battling between Daniels, then it's stop and go 30, the drama that unfolded at Barcelona. Hopefully everyone can get it together for Laguna Seca and Calamari.
Yeah,
Kalami.
no question.
Kalami.
I think this has been the a really nice indication of things to come for the remainder of the season as far as the sort of action that we can expect. I know we took a good break there for the holiday season. I feel like people came back just hungry for some racing action, and it really showed tonight.
That is true. I know I'm hungry to start racing tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And I'm looking forward, like I said, Transatlantic Cup. It's going to be Saturday.
Yeah, tune in.
It's going to be fun. Live streamed, I believe it'll be on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what
Yes,
time?
correct.
Live stewarding should be good. But I think with that said, boys, I think it is time to call it a night if we don't have anybody else to pull up.
Yeah, we've had our P2 finishers not interested in coming up for an interview tonight, and P1 cannot be found, so they've probably started the partying.
All right. Well, it is what it is. We will see you guys next week. Josh, Nate, thank you for joining me in the booth tonight. And we will see you guys at Laguna next week.
Been a pleasure, Dan.
See ya.